DIY.
Okay, DIYers, so some amazing news happened. The official launch of the Marathon Burger, obviously inspired by Nipsey Hussle and his long-term plans that he, of course, discussed at length with his brother Black Sam, has officially launched in the Fairfax district. First of all, round of applause. Man. So on this article here on Spectrum News, it says Nipsey Hussle Marathon brand still continues on. Obviously, he passed away in 2019 and left behind a tremendous legacy of not only amazing music as an artist, but also just endless gems and inspiration for those that are in their own marathon in pursuit of their own goals. The article goes here by Timothy Parker, says Los Angeles, the Marathon Burger restaurant had its grand opening Saturday on Melrose Avenue. It's part of the Marathon brand that the late rapper Nipsey Hussle started before he died in 2019. The brand is still strong and growing with clothing and cannabis ventures. Plus, partnerships with student athletes, fans, and celebrities came out in droves to support the latest grand opening. So, to get a little bit more insight on that, what I'm going to do is probably switch the angle so you guys can see this in its entirety. So, shout out once again to Spectrum. Here it goes.
The marathon Nipsey Hussle started still goes on years after his death, with his team building on his legacy, growing his lifestyle brand.
2, 3.
It's a moment the late Nipsey Hussle would have been proud to see. The grand opening of the Marathon Burger, under the direction of his brother Black Sam on Melrose Avenue.
Did we hit this floor yet?
He's in the trenches doing the dirty work himself. Looking to extend the Marathon brand Nipsey started before his death 6 years ago.
Man, first of all, shout out and a round of applause for Black Sam.
Somebody gonna have to tell us
To lose a brother in the way that he did, in such a public way that he did, to face the amount of orders that were in demand and to deliver those at the best of their ability. A lot of people, they'll say like kind of these backhanded compliments about the Marathon brand about, man, like I want to support them, but it takes so long for, the merchandise to make it to me. Well, you got to understand that they're dealing with a different demand than they've dealt with before. There's a lot of people who, because of his untimely passing, have gotten to know the man and are very much interested in not only supporting his brand and supporting his legacy, but also they just want to rock his stuff. And so a lot of people are piling in orders and seeing the size of their team that is ever growing, getting an insight into the size of their team. It is a miracle the way that they've been able to pull off all these things and still make sure that they stay on top of everything. So it's incredible. But to carry on after something like that, man, that takes a tremendous amount of strength. One thing I'll say about Black Sam being there and mopping the floors and, making the fries, as you about to see. I had a manager when I worked for Quiznos, the owner. He said, my first day, he looked at me, he said, hey, tapped me on my shoulder. He said, you see me throwing this away? And I said, yeah. He said, if I'm the owner and I throw this away, what you think I expect of you? It was an interesting lesson that I think we're seeing exhibited in this video.
There's no way to get over the loss of bro, but for us, I think finding our obligation and using that as motivation to continue his message.
In 2019, Nipsey lost his life at the Marathon clothing store on Crenshaw and Slauson, in the very neighborhood where the rapper grew up. Now, after a half-decade later, the building is remodeled, and Black Sam says it will soon become the Neighborhood Nip Foundation.
We covered that. It's amazing to see that they're flipping that around into an opportunity to teach kids, really, how to be DIYers.
DIY.
How to record themselves, how to engineer themselves, how to write, and all these different things that are in the creative fields. And there's still more things that we haven't been told about what this is going to be, but to see that turn into that, I got to imagine that Nip is looking down at that and with a lot of pride, right? So
where kids can learn and make music for free.
Hussle attended a pre-program in Watts, where he learned how to record himself and make beats. He was very vocal to me and the whole team, basically explaining how important that program was for him and all the kids that, ended up being in that program. So that is the best thing fitted for that location.
Really appreciate everybody for coming out.
Jorge Peniche has been a part of the marathon team from the beginning, with a first-hand view of what Nipsey built, beyond producing Grammy-winning music.
I was riding around in the V12 with the racks in the middle.
Today, the Marathon brand is tied to fashion, cannabis, and now food with this burger restaurant.
Insane.
Plus, even partnering with athletes. Taj Ariza, the son of former Laker Trevor Ariza, is the first student athlete to be marketed on the Marathon, all created from Nipsey's blueprint.
Like, just think about the amount of rappers we've seen over the last 15 years that have passed away. And once they were gone, they didn't have a strong enough infrastructure or a strong enough system in order for people to continue their legacy on. Yeah, maybe they kept selling shirts from a website. Maybe they kept selling music or whatever the case may be. This seemed like it was prepared for just in case he would not be able to see this particular marathon through to the end. It seemed like it was designed to be foolproof. I mean, you got to think about this. You're talking about 6 years ago. 6 years ago. I remember it like yesterday when the news came in, because it was a few days after my son's birthday. He had a birthday party at the house. And to be able to not only continue the business, but to be able to get it so large that you're buying property. And we're getting ready to watch a video that's going to kind of give you a story about how they got the property on Fairfax, which is prime location to be in. That's a testament to the system in place, the testament to the knowledge and the strength of a Black Sam and their team, man. And Jorge, it's a lot of folks behind this that understand what the mission is and the assignment.
Jorge says anyone, anywhere can learn from it.
Behind all of the entirety of the brand and what Nipsey represented was inspiration. There was no outside capital that poured in out of nowhere, no investor fundraising. This is, flipping $1 after, to get to the next.
It's the very inspiration driving so many to come out for Black Sam and the marathon in full force. Seeing how one man from South LA gave hope to so many.
Hussle's the people's champ. So anything we do representing bro, the people support, man.
The team says Nipsey Hussle's authenticity and love for community is what keep the brand alive till this day, and why the marathon continues.
Bro, takes a tremendous amount of strength to do this. I've known people that took a financial loss. I've known people that took a financial loss and said, that's it for me. I have no more to fight. Like, I'm holding back. I'm getting a little teared up because I'm like, I've been through situations where I took a financial L and asked myself, is this for me? Should I pivot elsewhere? I can't imagine the amount of responsibilities that they have in Marathon Clothing for not only the actual clothing, the Marathon brand with the clothing. They're talking about a new album's going to come out for Nipsey Hussle. You have the cannabis business that they have, and now you have this burger restaurant. And when you hear the story of how they went about it, this ain't no collaboration with them and like Fat Burger like he did initially by the original Marathon store. No. They have their own menu. They got their own protocol. They're hiring folks from within their community. It's a lot of work that goes into this, and people lose it just from a financial loss. Now expound that upon losing your brother. Not a lot can do it, and not a lot will be able to do it as successful. I mean, the way this is moving, you would think Nip is still here. In a lot of ways, spiritually, of course he is, but incredible. So in this video, we're not going to watch the whole thing. We're going to watch the first 6 minutes of it. It's called The Making of the Marathon Burger. It's a documentary that's on the Marathon brand. YouTube channel. You should definitely go check out the full thing when you get a chance.
Marathon Burger came about through an idea.
I'm sorry, let me get this back here to regular speed.
Marathon Burger came about through an idea that Sam had about a year and some change ago. We had been talking about or entertaining the concept of entering the restaurant space and hospitality space for quite some time. We didn't know specifically what the entry point for that specifically would be.
The initial thing that sparked the thought was us being a fan of smash burgers.
Regular cheeseburger.
Man, shout out. Yeah, smash burgers have become a large hit out here in Southern California over the last few years. Like they've picked up popularity, I should say. So that makes a lot of sense that would be kind of the inspiration behind their signature burger.
We've been eating burgers for a year straight, every day, just testing different burgers. And, you know, we've always had the idea to create a restaurant, a burger spot. Sam just wanted to try the new Smash Burger Crave. He tried one place, then he wanted us to try that place, and we go to another place, and then it just turned into us eating lunch every day is going to a burger spot.
Just instinctively, we like, oh man, what if we did a marathon burger? How could we make ours even better than our favorite burgers? Then all the flashbacks of me cooking since I was a little kid, working at a restaurant, my brother cooking with me, just came, and it was just like a no-brainer. It hit me hard, like same type of shit where I get goosebumps, where it's like marathon burger, all right. Once the thought is in my head, we got to do it, and just rally the troops, rally the team.
And so lo and behold, it comes to, we meet over at our office, and he tells the team, hey, we're gonna do a burger spot. And I don't think there was any level of reluctancy from the team on a burger spot, because I think anytime, you know, we set some type of idea into action, things, you know, come to fruition one way or another, you know. So the first piece, I think, to this project was, let's at the very least, let's create our logo, right? Ever since, you know, Marathon Music Project in 2010, Nipsey had a very specific vision, right? That everything would fall under the umbrella of the Marathon brand, right? With this box logo we created for the mixtape.
Marathon Burger just sounded right, man. You know, it was always a vision of Hussle's to make Marathon be a lifestyle brand.
Successful.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
And it's such a wide-ranging brand. There's a book that he suggested that had to do with brand, something about what great brands do. And one thing it talks about is the things that they have in common is how broadly the mission statement can be applied to many different walks of life. And when you think about marathon, I mean, there's athletes that are on a marathon. There's entrepreneurs on a marathon. There's folks in school that are on a marathon. There's literal runners on a marathon and all these different things. So as a lifestyle brand, it can expand into many different things, right? For some people, smoking is a marathon. So then getting in the cannabis business makes sense. For the kids that'll be a part of the NIP Foundation, that is a marathon. So it's such a strong brand, and it just shows you sort of the insight that he had to the ultimate ceiling of keeping it as general as he did, because man, look where it's going.
So it was a no-brainer. Like, we need that red box logo up.
First thing we do after any idea comes about is we always make sure we dot all our I's and cross all our T's, and that's all the trademarks that we need to put in place. In the ensuing weeks and months, packaging designs were created as to what the to-go bag could look like, our clamshell box could look like for the burgers, our fry holder, storefront could look like, a bunch of different things, you know, were already ideated. Now, as luck would have it, I guess you could call it some type of divine intervention. A burger location on Crenshaw and Slauson, you know, that we had partnered with and we still have great relationships with. The owner of that specific burger spot ended up going rogue on the franchise, which we're still in good standing with.
Now they take EBT and cash. They wanted $19 for the burger we copped. Now look at inside this motherfucker.
What is this voice? What is this restaurant review? So this is someone who is trying to give a POV into what this Fat Burger partnership with the Marathon store turned into. There's a Fat Burger that's next to the flagship store. And as he said, the owner went rogue or left. And, you know, they still got a good relationship with them. But, you know, you could tell that even this partnership, this strategic partnership was always with the intent of one day being able to branch it off into their own thing, which is the whole purpose of this particular video.
Based on the footage he gathered, it look a little rushed. I don't know if it's still Fat Burger, if it's Tams, or what's going on, but it look a little rushed, you hear me? This is the Marathon Burger. You see what's going on. You see the menu. It's $2 for all
It look a little rush.
add-ons. I feel like we should have had more pictures over here on this wall to the right here, you feel me? This right here make me just feel like it's a bit rushed. I know Nipsey was about quality. He took his time with his product, you feel me? I just feel like this should have took him a little bit more time with this right here. And here goes the burger though. This burger looked like a McDouble.
Damn.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and pull up and rate this John right here. What y'all give?
I don't know who this individual is, and I wish them nothing but the best, but I hope they showed up to the new location. I have not had the burger. I have not been to the restaurant yet. It is a bit of a distance from where I'm at right now, but I do plan on going down there. And I mean, you know, I hope they get just as loud as, and I'm sure they will, just as loud as they are here, as they are with the new burger, which is the one that has been approved, not the Fat Burger version of a Marathon Burger.
In the Marathon Burger, Crenshaw's.
You know, round of applause that we talking about burgers today. There's a Fatback Curtis that's very happy about this. There's a Fatback Curtis that's very happy about this. I'm sorry, a Big Back Curtis. Big Back Curtis is very happy about this. I get to talk smash burgers with y'all on a Monday. Yeah.
Lawson, pull up.
Tight shit.
Turn the Fat Burger into Marathon Premium Burger, a bootleg Marathon Burger.
It was very important for us, you know, to intervene and interject because this Marathon Burger.
No, they didn't. That's what Black Sam was talking about. Them folks went and turned that into a bootleg Marathon Burger. So whoever the new owners are turned it from I didn't even notice. They turned it from a collaboration with Fat Burger into Marathon Premium Burger. Hell no. That's some what's the dirt shit.
Concept was definitely something that we had already taken serious strides towards, you know, creating and manifesting and making it a reality.
We had already had our trademarks and everything in motion, but I think my first phone call was JP.
Next move, Sam gives me a call. He's like, bro, we got to throw up a graphic that says Marathon Burger coming soon. To be honest, was a bit nerve-wracking to me because we didn't have a location. You know, all we had was a logo and some packaging. We had yet to really tackle the monster of developing recipes.
So that was the first step, man. And you know, in JP fashion, man, he stopped everything and got it done in probably like 10, 15 seconds. And we posted. And from that point now, it's like, all right, the timer is on. Let's make this shit happen.
So as this post goes up, it obviously reaches different people. And by the grace of God, it just so happens to reach the owner of this property behind me, right? And his team.
So they trying to get ahead of it. This is a story that, you know, until now, I didn't know that they were dealing with this. I know they were dealing with some trademark issues where people were trying to trademark, you know, versions of the Marathon. They were trying to trademark the Marathon Continues. And, you know, there's a bunch of stories we never covered. Speaking of which, too, if you guys are waiting for me to cover Black Sam and the confrontation he had with Rockstar, you in the wrong place. That's not what I'm highlighting. I want to highlight all the hard work and what that day was really all about. And that seemed like that's internal business. That seemed like that's family business, if you ask me. With that said, though, they're looking at this point. They see the knockoff Marathon Burger go. They say, all right, cool. We got to figure out how to get ahead of this because we got plans to do this. But now it's speeding up the plans because people think that that's our imprint on there. And so they put the message out there. They got the mock-ups ready. And through the grace of God, somebody reached out who had a location. They did this without a location.
Saw the post coming soon, and this space was coming available, and I was looking for the right fit and the strongest potential concept, and just overall a great option for the city, for the world to come have an experience here on Melrose.
When we were looking for locations, we saw this location, but it was so expensive. I think they wanted like hundreds of thousands of dollars down just to get into the lease. And so we kind of just looked at it. We was like, this will be an amazing location, but next.
Crazy coincidence, at the same time, Marathon Burger was looking for a location. I contacted Rod. Rod contacted Sam.
And so it's pretty incredible you know, that our clothing store, Marathon Rooftop, is maybe 6-7 blocks east from here on Melrose. And now another opportunity, you know, the owner of this building reaches out and says, hey, are you guys interested in, I see you guys are doing a burger spot. You know, I might have just a place.
Wow.
Once Casey reached out to us and I figured out that it was the same exact location that I had already looked at, that thought at one point it was too expensive. I said, hold on, this may be a sign. Let's sit down, let's figure out, you know, is there any wiggle room? How can we be creative and figure out a way to come in? And I think us sitting down with Casey and talking to him and explaining, you know, what we were trying to do, you know, it was a blessing. He was willing to come on and partner up with us and help us get this thing together. He was all in. Wow. He told us, hey, listen, I'm going to do whatever I can.
And you got to imagine, you know, that's got to be a relief to a brand like the Marathon brand and to Black Sam, because I know for a fact that the reason why he I know for a fact that he gets encountered by people with a lot of predatory energy or like opportunist energy. Like, oh yeah, you know, I really rock with your bro, and man, I hate to see man. How can I help you? Like, I know for a fact that people gravitate to somebody like this who has it going on for themselves, right? So with that said, having somebody say, no, I want to work this situation out so y'all can get this location. I need y'all to get this location. That's got to be a relief in the midst of a lot of folks, specifically even in Crenshaw, man. I was giving them issues just for trying to exist.
I'm doing my power to make sure you guys get the unit. Just give me a couple of days and I'll get back to you with a new proposal. After that meeting, I think we were 100% full throttle on let's develop the menu, and let's hurry up so when we do get the keys, we'll be ready.
Man, round of applause. Everybody involved in that. Definitely go watch that full documentary. Man, Nip was on my mind today, bro. Nip was on my mind today. And this is a famous quote that he had, 30-second clip. Where he was on Big Boy. We talked about Big Boy yesterday. And it's a famous clip that I'm telling you, there's just some times where this echoes in my brain because in its simplicity lies genius. This is for those who are on their own marathon that want to know the one difference that Nipsey said separated him from all the other folks out here who were trying to do the things that he was doing. Here's how he responded.
Did you ever get down where it was like, man, this ain't gonna work? Or, you know,
that's why I call my thing the marathon, because I'm not gonna lie and portray this ultimate poise like I've had it figured out. Nah, I just didn't quit. That's the only distinguishing quality from me and probably whoever else going through this or went through this or is gonna go through this, is that I ain't quit. I went through every emotion. I went through every emotion with trying to pursue what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And I think that what gonna separate whoever's gonna try to go for something is that you ain't gonna quit. Unless, you know, you're gonna really take the stance if I'm gonna die behind what I'm getting at right now.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and
One more round of applause. I don't care. One more round of applause. I love to see what they're doing. It's inspiring. And you know, as a civilian, I didn't have to be a street dude to appreciate Nipsey's authenticity. In that no matter what room you put him in, I don't care who's interviewing him. I don't care if it's a late night TV show host. I don't care if it's the daytime news. I don't care. He didn't code switch. He was him in every single environment. He was respectable of the environment, but he was him in every single environment. That type of authenticity is a lesson that we all can learn from, because we do live in environments sometimes where it feels like being who we are, where we're from, feels like a liability. Talking the way that we talk feels like a liability, especially in the company of vultures. Looking at you, what's the dirt? But with that said, I think now is a time where we're seeing folks who are showing you there's no need to code switch. It was never a liability. That was always your strength, is being who you are authentically, because people who are authentic in their own right want to be around people who are authentic. They don't want to be around people who are trying to be black versions of their whiteness. They want to be around people who are so comfortable in their skin that they refuse to be anything else except for who they are. And when I look at this Marathon clothing brand, I keep saying Marathon clothing because I'm always thinking about the clothing. I always want to get the clothing, but the Marathon lifestyle brand, and I think about all the different places it exists, that logo has stayed the same. That logo has stayed the same. That logo has stayed the same. And there's a sense of pride that comes with that. The same logo that was good enough to put up there in a flagship store in Crenshaw, it's the same logo that's going to be up here in Fairfax where there's a lot of foot traffic and a lot of folks going to be circulating around that. The same logo, the same Marathon brand that you saw on certain weed, the same Marathon that you saw on clothing, the same one that you see in the music. That's a strong, strong brand. And I, as an entrepreneur, I, as a black entrepreneur who saw Nipsey Hussle in these circles, even early in the crypto game, talking that shit, even early in the black tech conversations that were circulating around music, he was talking that shit. And that's something I absolutely aspire to do in anything that I do, is never lose myself in pursuit of a better version of myself. With that said, though, DIYers, those are my thoughts. Congratulations to the team and to Black Sam and the Marathon brand. Those are my thoughts, though, DIYers. You let me know what you think. DIYers, if you enjoyed this content, make sure that you hit the like button and maybe even consider subscribing. Come on, man. Stop being greedy. Peace.